In this week's episode, is eBay screwing you on customer requested cancellations? What is up, Galaxians? Long time no see. I had said I was done with this show, and I probably am to a greater or lesser extent, but something happened over the last week that I thought you should probably be aware of and that you probably need to check on yourself. So, back in the winter, eBay published their winter seller update, which was something new they had not done previously. It was always, I think, spring and fall, but they published a winter seller update, and we went over that in one of my episodes. And one of the things that they talked about was this neat little addition to their fee credit updates and final value fee changes. One of the things that they talked about was the per order fee credit for canceled transactions. Now, I'm just going to read this so there's no confusing what's going on. Currently, eBay keeps a 30-cent per order fee when an order is canceled due to a buyer request. This is in line with fees that other marketplaces and third-party payment processors apply in similar buyer cancellation cases. We're excited to announce that starting March 1st, 2022, eBay will refund the entire final value fee, including the 30-cent per order fee, when you approve a buyer's cancellation request. We recognize that buyers may cancel transactions for various reasons at no fault of the seller, and we want to support you by refunding 100% of the final value fee. I highlighted this in the episode when I went over the winter seller update, and I thought this was a really positive change for sellers. It doesn't happen all that frequently. In fact, I just last week had my first instance of something like this occurring. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to look at this and see if I got that 30 cents. Now, mind you, as I told one of the multiple eBay reps that I spoke to about this issue, 30 cents is not going to make or break my business. But the idea that eBay would put out this policy and then potentially, and in actuality, not follow it, frankly, it ticked me off quite a bit. So I'm going to show you the transaction. So here I had a customer who ordered a book, Calculus for the Social, Managerial, and Life Sciences. The total of the purchase was $14.81. eBay's fees were $2.41. The customer almost immediately requested a cancellation. There was one transaction that took place between his purchase and his cancellation request. I, of course, honored his request and canceled it. And as you can see by looking at the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, $14.81 was refunded to the customer, but the fees that came back to me were $2.11. So the 30-cent final value fee did not get credited back to me. It was, as always, the fee for the purchase remained in my pending payments, while the refund came out of my already available funds, which I guess from a business standpoint, I understand why they do it that way, but I really feel like they should take that from your pending funds rather than your actual payable funds. It's not fair, again, in my estimation, for you to be paying out of funds that are already ready to be given to you when a customer makes a cancellation. That should come out of the pending funds, assuming that that transaction has not yet been completed, which was the case here. That is another matter altogether. My issue here is that this 30 cents was not credited back to me. So I reached out to eBay and I talked to several different representatives who said that once the cancellation was finally officially complete within eBay's systems, this would adjust to the correct amount. We are here now several days later, and that is not the case. And I was once again on the horn with eBay this morning, and they have assured me once again that they will manually go through and adjust that 30 cents. My point to the eBay representative was not so much about the 30 cents, but the fact that they announced this policy back in the winter, which went into effect on March 1st of this year, which was nearly 6 weeks ago. and it's still not operating properly. So the reason for this episode is not just to complain about eBay, but to advise all of you, if you have done a customer cancellation in the last 6 weeks at the request of the customer, you were entitled to get that 30 cents credited back to you. And I urge all of you to go back and look at your statements in the payment tab over on eBay to see if you in fact got that credit. I put up a poll this morning asking that very question on YouTube. So let me know if you did or did not get that 30-cent credit, and if you have reached out to eBay for that particular issue yourself and what kind of response you got from them. I would highlight also that in that same winter seller update, they announced that there would be prorated final value fee credits for partial refunds, which goes into effect next month in May. They didn't give a specific date in that update. There is not one published that I can find as of this recording. My expectation, of course, given what we're seeing with this cancellation issue, is that that probably will not work as it's designed to either. One of the representatives that I reached out to said that because this was a new policy, they were still working out the details. My point was, you should not announce a policy that you have not already sorted out the details of how it's actually going to work. So, hi. I thank all of you. I've actually gotten a number of subscribers post ending the podcast, which I really appreciate, that people are still finding the show and chiming in and getting some value out of it. And I may pop in here from time to time as I see things that I think you probably really ought to be aware of. But this was certainly one of those that it probably doesn't potentially even amount to all that much money for any one individual seller. Like I said, I probably have less than a handful of cancellations so far this year. For me, this is the only one that would have actually come under this new policy. But over the hundreds of thousands of transactions that eBay does, many of which probably do get canceled, they're continuing to collect that 30 cents. And that's a significant amount of money for eBay. So, whatever. I can see why they didn't. I don't understand, to be honest, why they implemented this policy in the first place. It is in line with other credit card processors to keep that fixed 30-cent fee. I give them credit for voluntarily offering to give it to us, but the fact that they have said that they're going to, and as of this recording, they are not, and you're having, at least in my case, having to spend well over an hour with multiple different eBay reps to try to get this thing sorted. And as of this moment, as of this recording, having been told that it would manually be adjusted and it still has not happened, is a real problem. I mentioned to the representative, and you all are, I'm sure, quite aware of this, that eBay has a lot of policies and procedures that don't work like they're supposed to, and sellers, we waste an extraordinary amount of time trying to get resolution to these things. So with all of that being said, I hope all of you are doing well, and go back and look at your payment statements. If you have done a customer requested cancellation since March 1st, you were entitled to receive that 30-cent fixed final value fee credited back to your account. Take a look, find out if you got it or not, and let me know down in the comments below. If you are listening to this on the podcast, you can send me an email at galaxycds@gmail.com and let me know what your result was, or you can go to my YouTube channel and vote on the poll. So I appreciate it. Let me know what your experience has been with this new policy. It sounded great when it rolled out, but the actual implementation of it to this point leaves something to be desired. With that being said, I bought about 1,000 books over the weekend, so I've got a lot of listing to do. So as always, it's time to sell. Thanks, guys.